Hey everyone, welcome back. This is episode number 2 of my flight across the USA. The first one we went to a point in eastern Maine to a place called Sanford Seacoast Regional. Today we're going to fly from Sanford Seacoast Regional over to Niagara Falls. It's about 360 nautical miles. We're going to fly the TBM 930 again because that plane is fast and pretty awesome. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to set this thing up to fly. I'm going to mess with some of the settings. We'll go ahead and leave those in the video. You can see I already have the TBM 930 chosen. We're going to depart from KSFM, which is Sanford Regional, and we are going to fly to KIAG, which is Niagara Falls International. So maybe what, can you fly over to Canada or something maybe? Don't know. Never been there. I've flown over Niagara Falls. Never been to Niagara Falls, and we could actually see it from the plane. I was coming back from Boston. So let's mess with the flight conditions a little bit because it looks like it's a little bit cloudy and it's Saturday night late, so we're going to change that. Let's have some traffic. Let's go with some preset weather. Let's use nice clear skies. Let's change the time to be like noon so we can get a good view of what's going on out there. And yeah, we'll have a few clouds. That way there's something else to look at. All right, I think we're ready for that. Let's go back to the map. There you can see the flight path. Sanford Regional over on the East Coast. Fly across to Niagara Falls. Should be a pretty nice flight. All right, let's let the game load up. All right, here we are at Sanford Regional. Nice overhead view. I'm going to click the ready to fly. We'll set up the GPS is already set. What I am going to do though is set up the autopilot so when we get up in the air we don't have to think a whole lot about it. We can fly the course over to Niagara Falls. So the first thing I want to do is turn on the flight director. I always turn on the yaw damper. I'm going to click nav so it follows the GPS. I'm going to set the altitude. Now you normally would do this over here with this little button, but it moves really slow. I think I'm going to go up to about 28,000 feet. So what I've done is I've programmed my stream deck over here on the side that you can't see, and I added an altitude up button so you can see it zipping right through there. It's going to get going real fast and then I'll shoot fast past it. So let's get it up to 29,000 feet and then we'll make some further adjustments. Alright, 29,000 on the altimeter setting. And we come over here and click vertical speed. This plane climbs like crazy, so we can adjust the vertical speed. You'll see this little doohickey over here move a little bit. Is that a real word, doohickey, or should I call that the carrot or indicator? I forget. Anyway, let's get it up to about 1,500 feet per minute so we can get up to our altitude. So right now that's set. So once we're up in the air, all I'm going to do is click the autopilot on button to engage it, and the plane will take off and fly itself. So I think we're ready to rock and roll. I learned the other day that if I hit the space bar, it actually lifts me up a little bit higher in the seat. I see some, what is that on the side there? That must be the lights. Yeah, at first that kind of looks like shopping carts over here, doesn't it? But it's lights for the runway. All right, looks like we are ready to go. Crank up the engine. Hit B to adjust my barometer to make sure the altimeter is correct. Release the parking brake. Give a little bit of right rudder. Because of the torque, it wants to go left. Just a tiny little bit of wind pushing from the right side, about 2 knots. So we're cranking right along. Let's get up in the air. All right, we are airborne. I'm going to hit G to bring up my landing gear. I back off the throttle just the tiniest little bit for that torque there. And I'm going to click the autopilot button. I can let go of the control. Let's take a look outside. I always like to get a shot of the airport as I get going. Hit a little print screen activity there. Get a nice view of the airport as we take off. So this is Sanford, Maine. Anybody been to Maine? I hear it's beautiful. I've got some friends over in the Boston area. Seems like they all vacation up in Maine. It's their place to go escape it all, away from the big city. Alright, so we are off to the races, folks. Oh, I gotta bring the flaps back up. You can see that down here. We're in takeoff mode. So I hit the button to bring the flaps up. It can let us gain a little more speed. You can see our speed's climbing over here on the left. We're doing great. You may notice that half a tank of fuel. I don't mess with the fuel. So every once in a while I like to goof around and I'll take off from Singapore and fly to Chicago or something. And there's no way this plane or any other small plane would, probably any jet or anything available in this game would make it that far. So it's the one realism thing I disable is the fuel. So I just don't want to run out of gas. Let's go back in and take a look. See how everything's going. Alright, looks like we're off to a good start. 356 nautical miles to go. We are climbing out at 205 knots ground speed, so we're cooking right along. We have our GPS on the map here. Let's zoom out a little bit while I'm zooming in. As I say, let's zoom out and get a look at what we're going to fly over. I can see the gears up. Everything's looking good. I don't have any de-icing or anything turned on. I don't figure we'll need it on this flight. We'll check every once in a while, see if the windows are fogging up or icing up. It's pretty good fake weather, isn't it? Looks like a nice day to fly. Go back out and take a look. We'll keep a good eye on our estimated time to arrive. You can see the airport back there still flashing away. So what I was getting ready to say is we'll keep a close eye. Let's look at the panel again. 349 nautical miles. And it's nice up here, a lot of nice lakes. I have a friend that lives up in upstate New York, and I've been out there. Some pretty sparse land out there with a lot of snow in the winter. Isn't this stretch over here towards Buffalo, and what else is out there? Syracuse, like the snowiest place in the United States, I think. And the lakes look great. Looks like a nice place to explore. Takes a while to climb out, doesn't it? If we want to get any speed going, we've got to get up a little higher. It's a long flight. I don't know that there's a ton to see Although I have it mapped out all the way across the U.S., and I do have a flight coming up in a few episodes that'll be around the Grand Canyon. We'll start on one end of it, fly through, land at the other end of it, and there should be some pretty cool sights. I think the game's done a really nice job of representing the Grand Canyon and a lot of the really cool landmarks like that. You know, I've been over Niagara Falls a couple of times, and it's okay. It's not great. Although there was a new update recently. Who knows if any of that was updated. I also flew over a place in Kentucky called Cumberland Falls, which is just beautiful to begin with. It's down in the hills of Kentucky. Tons of trees. Cumberland River, nice waterfall. It's not a great flight in the game right now, but I'm sure it will improve over time. You can really hear my fan kicking up, fans in the computer get going. This thing puts out a little heat. Alright, we're coming up on 11,000 feet. Just kick back and enjoy the ride for a little while. Kind of interesting, there was an update not too long ago. It was the big Japan update that provided a lot of new detail and maps, and it caused a problem with this VFR map, and sometimes when I would open it, it would just crash the game completely. I loaded a new update just recently, and one of the fixes was for that, which is good because I like to pop that map up every once in a while. And it's really annoying if you've got a good flight going and the thing just blows up on you like that. What do we have down here? Track. Where's Pocono Raceway? I don't know. I don't think that's it. It doesn't look like the right shape. I'm not sure what we have down there in the lower left. I need to figure out some sightseeing stuff to do along the way on these. If you have any ideas or things to fly over kind of on a northerly trek towards San Francisco, I'd sure appreciate it in the comments. I'll fly over some things, neighborhoods, houses, whatever. I'll make sure to publish some of my flight plans. If I remember to do it, I'll put it right here on the screen in this video right here. So ding, there it is. If I remember, otherwise you'll just say, why is the knucklehead saying ding? It's 16,000. Once we get up to 19, whatever I say. Oh crap, no, I've set it for 29,000, didn't I? Got a long way to go, folks. I love this thing. It's pressurized cabin, and the simulator goes far enough to calculate the differential pressure outside to inside and tells what the altitude equivalent is inside, which is pretty cool. We're at 5,500 feet, even though we're at 17,000. If you get high enough, it'll start sounding an alarm. No weather to speak of, just some scattered clouds, which I picked clear, didn't I? So there's not much there. So it looks like there's an airport 5 miles off the right front. Let's just go look, see if we can see anything out here. Scooting along, 258 knots ground speed. Oh look, there's some air traffic over on the left front. There it is. See it right there. And a crossover in front. My torque meter up there at upper left of this middle screen is blinking red, so I'll back off the power just a little bit. Got a 4-knot wind pushing us right along, so not much. It's better than 100 knots pushing against us, I guess. 300 nautical miles to go. Inside altitude, 7,800 feet equivalent. Actually, let's look at the lights real quick. So the light panel. Let's look around inside the plane. So if you have $4 million and you know how to fly, you can buy one of these bad boys and fly 30,000 feet, 300 plus knots, 330 knots, and go just about anywhere in North America you could want to go. I suppose you could, well, you could easily make the jump over to Europe if you went north. And if this series works out for me the way I'd like it to, and maybe I'll just keep doing it because this is kind of fun, just flying across the country. For what I'm going to call season 2, I'm going to fly south from San Francisco. I'm going to head down towards South America. I've mapped out quite a bit of it, all the way down into Argentina. And I'd like to make a jump across the Atlantic and pick this up in Africa and continue the flight. So I've mapped out quite a bit. All right, 27,000. We're almost up to the cruising altitude. $28,300. Alright, you can see the vertical speed really slowing down over here on the right. I guess depending on where I have the camera set up. I need to look at that, make sure it's out of the way. I don't care that, I don't know if anybody really wants to see my big old head anyway. But we're at 29,000 feet, rough and tough. We're leveling out. We should see the speed increase. We're going to make up some ground now, or making some ground, make some time. All right, 294 knots, ground speed. Now we're hauling. Oh, look at that. Estimated time, 56 minutes, and it's really counting down the seconds fast as we catch up because of the increased speed here. So less than an hour to go. So I need to look up, I don't know what the altitude of that airport is. I should probably know that so I don't fly into the ground. Let's look that up. So we'll go KIAG altitude. About 600 feet. So it's not all that high. I would have guessed 600, but what difference does that make? So about 600 feet. So really, I want to get the plane down to maybe 2,000 feet when we're a few miles away from it. So about the time, our estimated time, so if I bring it down about 1,000 feet per minute, I need to get down 27,000 feet. So I need 27 minutes. So when our timer up here in the middle starts showing like, I don't know, 28, 29 minutes, we'll start coming down 1,000 feet per minute. and it ought to get us down to a couple thousand feet as we approach the airport. Should make for a nice smooth landing. We'll get the airport in sight, and depending on the direction of the runway, we'll just bring it in for a landing. So right now we have 20 minutes of boredom, which is just like real flying, isn't it? Why don't we bring up the map? Just kind of tuck it over here out of the way a little bit. There's no good spot for it. Alright, route over the mountains. Just enjoy the scenery. Alright, I see an airport just below us there. Must be KGFL, whatever that is. Looks pretty big. KGFL. Glens Falls Laboratory. Alright. Nice airport. Let's go inside and take a look. See where we're at. Some air traffic coming up on the right. Keep an eye on that. Maybe we can get out and see it. 322 knots ground speed. 43 minutes to go. Just another 13-15 minutes we'll start to descend. 232 nautical miles. And then that air traffic. Let's see if we can get an eyeball on that. See anything blinking anywhere? I guess it's pretty far north. It's getting hot under the desk. Woo. That video card and the processor really are cranking it out. It's killing me. Traffic's still over there. Wonder where it's headed. Check this out. I'm just kind of clicking through menus. Here's my altitude for Niagara. 600 feet. I didn't know it would do that. Makes sense though, doesn't it? Cool. I need to play around with that some more, obviously. looking for that other plane. There it is. I finally see it. It's right up there. Looks like it's a little bit ahead of us now. And a little bit higher. Any concern there. We're not going to hit that thing. Well, there's another one coming up on our left rear. Let's see if we can see that. Yeah, there it is right there. A lot of activity out here, isn't there? There's the one in front of us. And the one behind us. Definitely higher. And fast. I mean, obviously it plays catch up with the map when I first come back into it, but it's really scooting along, isn't it? .322 knots. We're getting past. It's pretty cool. Both on the screen at once. One's under the compass, and one's over here to the right. .34 minutes, 37 seconds. At the 30-minute mark, we'll start to descend. We'll set it up at the 30-minute mark. That'll take a minute. And then we'll bring it down. I'm if this thing's going to Niagara Falls too. This other flight out there might be. See it through the windshield now, on the right-hand side. Come up on something. There, an airport in front of us. KRME. Oh, Syracuse is coming up on the left. Well, we're going to fly pretty close to it in a few minutes. It's KRME. KRME Airport is Griffiths International, Rome, New York. Been to Rome. Rome, New York. Never to Rome, Italy. Been to other parts of Italy, but not Rome. And Rome, New York. Yeah, I went there. I flew to Syracuse. It was cold. It was really gray the whole time I was there. It was pretty quiet. Just a few years ago, but it was the dead of winter. Luckily, there was no snow at all. I know I could have got really dumped on while I was there. I think I rented a four-wheel drive just to be safe because it was supposed to snow and it didn't for some reason. I guess I wouldn't mind it. That'd be kind of cool though. It was really cold though. Alright, 31 minutes, 166 nautical miles. We're on track. We're chasing a plane. So in just a little bit here, we'll go ahead and set up for our approach and our landing. And by approach, I mean diving right towards the airport from 100 miles out, 150 or so miles out. Let's take one more look outside before I set it up. Where'd that other plane go? Oh, not important right now. Look, is that Rome over there on the left, or is that Syracuse? It's probably Rome, right? Yeah, that's the Rome airport right down there. Alright, let's bring it down. We're at 29 minutes and 58, so we're going to bring the altitude down. You'll see it move over here on the left on the display. When I come down to 2,000. Whoa. Told you it gets going really fast. It's way better than holding it on that selector button. And I'll set my vertical speed down 1,000 feet per minute. Look at that. One more click. It's going to be a little more than 1,000 feet. 1,100 feet per minute. It's weird. I don't know why it won't let me stop on the 1,000. Pull back power just slightly. Yeah, the other plane's pretty much in front of us at this point. wonder if it's headed into the same place. We will not catch that thing. It's boogieing. All right, now we wait. About 20 minutes or so. 25, 26 minutes. We will be down at 2,000 feet, approaching the airport. We'll bring it in for a landing and call it a day. And then we'll do the next leg. Which I think, where am I going next? Toledo, maybe? We could cross the north side of Ohio over Cleveland, Lake Erie, into Toledo, I think, is the next one. It's another cool little airport. It has a handful of flights a day. There's never a line. If you want to go to Chicago, or what's the other place? Punta Gorda, Florida. Punta Gorda, Florida. You can go there. And maybe South Carolina or something. I don't know what the pandemic's doing to that poor airport, because it didn't get a lot of business as it was. I think it's a couple hours from Columbus, an hour and a half from Detroit, a couple hours from Cleveland. Great little regional airport, though. Love it. Get up here by Niagara. Maybe we'll do a quick loop around the falls real quick, and hopefully I won't run into the bridge that I theoretically ran into before. I know I tell this story on a lot of other videos, but I was at Niagara. I flew past the falls. I turned around and was coming back towards the falls, and I went under a bridge, and I really think I was low enough, and I was too high to hit the water, and I thought too low for the bridge, but it hit. So that was the end of my game. I have a couple other video series that I run. I like to shoot video of local roads and construction, and have a drone. I love to fly the drone. And then just for entertainment of myself, I like to play a little Minecraft. So I started a Minecraft hardcore world, and I've come close to getting KO'd on that thing a couple of times now. For those of you that have played Minecraft, you can set it up in hardcore mode, and it sets all the difficulty to high, and if your character dies one time, the game's over. You can't go back in, it's deleted. So it's pretty well toast, and I want to see how long I can stay alive. I did it before. I didn't shoot video of it though, and man, I made a dumb mistake. I just walked right off a cliff one day. There's Syracuse, New York airport off to the left, the port side of this plane. Bring up the map for a second. Yeah, well, that doesn't seem right, does it? According to this, we're past it. But I gotta believe that's really it. Maybe this isn't really. Yeah. Pretty good size airport. You can see the runways. Looks kind of like a V. Maybe like a uppercase A almost. That's really what that looks like over there. So that's where it's like the map's off a little bit. Oh, that's because I'm looking at the wrong airplane. Duh. Here we are. Right over the lake. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? Reflection of the sun. I do the next flight, if it is really towards Toledo, I will we'll fly over Cleveland, check it out a little bit. There'll be a little more scenery as far as things go. Maybe we can find the baseball stadium, fly over the Indians' home, maybe fly over the Browns. Take a little look around on the way in. There's Syracuse. I met a guy when I was out there in Rome who just loved snowmobiling, and he was going on a big trip. We're going to go for weeks, cover tons of miles. I bet that's a lot of fun. All right, let's check in. 22 minutes to go. 20,000 feet roughly left to come down. Over revving the engine or over torquing it a little bit. Let's back that off some. Alright, 331 knots ground speed. Right on the track. 22 minutes remaining in the flight. 121 miles, nautical miles. So 21 minutes, 1,000 feet per minute. It's going to put us right down where we want to be. So we will fly past it real quick and do a little lap around the falls. What I use to fly. I have quite an old Logitech Extreme 3D Pro. I've had this thing so long, I don't remember when I bought it. The tag on the bottom's worn in all the right places. It's not force feedback. It's got a lot of buttons. It's heavy. Sticks to the desk real well. Thing works great. I don't have a yoke. It'd be kind of cool. And I gotta tell you, the people that go to all the setup and they build the cockpits around and the multiple monitors, that's awesome. We've got some serious coin wrapped up in that. I don't really have the space for that because the room I'm in right now, which is our spare bedroom, as you can tell by the mess, since no one sleeps in here, it kind of gets piled up with stuff. And I use it as my office when I'm working. So I work at home, like a lot of people, and I am on Zoom calls 6 hours a day, 7 hours a day out of the work day, easily on Zoom. You can see Lake Erie coming up on the right. With Zoom, at least I can put up a fake background. I don't go to all the trouble when I'm gaming. I don't feel like it really matters as much, but I don't have room, is where I was going to build out a whole cockpit or a race car or anything like that. That's pretty awesome now. 18,400. Lake Erie off to the right. Whoops. It's not Lake Erie. One more. Toronto up there. I suppose that's Toronto. It's got to be, right? That's a cool city. They don't want Americans up there right now, though, because of Corona. Because we're not doing a good enough job controlling it. whatever. I don't mind staying home. I certainly don't want to make this political. It's not Toronto. Toronto is YYZ. I know that because of Rush. It's a great song, by the way. This is CYTR. Prince Edward or something? So straight across on Lake Ontario is Prince Edward, roughly where we are. And then as we continue west, cruising along I-90, more or less. We'll come up on Buffalo. There's Toronto, YYZ. I think it would be awesome to get a boat that is seaworthy enough to go out on the Great Lakes and sail from one edge to the other of all of them, through the locks and connected waterways. I don't know how to sail. That seems like a fun adventure as well. I'm talking about a nice cabin cruiser though. An RV on the water. That's Rochester there. Nice bay. Let's do a quick check-in. 307 knots. 16 minutes to go. 84 nautical miles. So that's probably not Rochester back there. What was that? Yeah, we're coming up on Rochester, New York. Another nice bay. What was this one back here then? I don't know, my geography sucks in New York apparently. We could get some nice views of that bay at Rochester though. We're getting down pretty low. Let's get down even lower. Do some sightseeing. I'm going to give it 2,000 feet per minute down. (2,300 feet per minute down). Speeding a little tiny bit or close to it. Let's try to get down so we can take a better look at Rochester as we go streaking through there. I think I see the Rochester Airport over here on the left. Oh, I am way too fast. Let's bring back the gas. Best part of flying in a simulator is nobody gets sick. Well, this simulator. Alright, streaming across Rochester. A little technical difficulty. Sorry about that. Back with you. We are resuming the flight. We have 12 minutes to go. Back in action. Flying low and streaking across the treetops here. Alright, so I goofed up and I had to restart from Rochester, so apologies for that. This is not one continuous flight. It's kind of a bummer. But we are on our way back to Niagara Falls, and through a little creative editing, the interruption I had is a non-issue at this point. So I'll just make better plans next time. Anyway, we are cruising west of Rochester, New York, heading towards Niagara Falls. We're 10 minutes out, cruising along at 247 knots across the ground at 2,000 feet. So just before my interruption, I was getting close to that. I was actually declining over Rochester, or descending, I should say, and then I had something I had to deal with, so had to break away for a few minutes. That's the beauty of a simulator, though, is you can do that. And here we are, back on track. Let's take a look outside. I was nosediving into Rochester so we could see some scenery, but now there's not a lot to see other than trees and farms and stuff. We'll get over Niagara. We'll do a quick trip around the falls. And then we'll bring it in for a landing. Eight minutes 40. This is what we're shooting for, right here on that map. Our airport's here, so we're going to shoot past it. We'll go over to the river, hang a left, come up around the falls. We'll slow way down when we get there. We'll fly it from outside. About 7 minutes to the airport. Six minutes to the airport. I see it flashing straight ahead. Right there. So we'll come out straight ahead, just fly this course, get up here to the river. We'll start slowing down when we get to the airport. 17 miles to the airport, 4 minutes. It's moving, isn't it? 17 nautical miles, 17 miles in 4 minutes. That's what you can do when you're moving like this. Straight onto the runway. .5. Excuse me. Got a cat. I think I'm allergic. I'm pretty sure I am. Get in this room and start sneezing. What a beautiful lineup. Man, this would be good if we were landing right now. A little bit of a crosswind. Six miles. We're going to do real quick here, I'm going to set up the nav so I can go where I want to go. I'm going to switch over from GPS to the nav, for the heading I should say, nav to heading. Let's take a look. All right, Niagara Falls Airport. Map. Yeah, this is good. Right on track. Get over here to the river. Let's start slowing down a little bit. So the speed coming down over here on the left side. Put in a click of flaps. See, there's the cat. You can't see it probably, but she's stalking me. Here are the falls over there on the left. Let me kick off the autopilot altogether. Let's go back out and I'll see if I can not overstress the plane or do something silly. See that bridge right there? I flew under that bridge. That's the one I crashed into. Bring in the other click of flaps. Indoor water park. This looks great, doesn't it? I'm trying to run the mouse and not run into the ground. So we go across the fall. See what I mean? It's a little funky right there, isn't it? The graphics don't look great. We'll come back around again real quick. Go the other way. So it's a nice effort, but it's just missing a little something, isn't it? I gotta fly from inside so I can see what I'm doing here. Keep control of the plane. All right, let's go outside and look. This could be put in prison, wouldn't it? And it falls again. Let's go back inside, fly the plane for a few minutes here. Turn my nav back on. All right, let's let the plane fly. Okay, let's take a look at where we are. Right back towards the airport. I see it over there. Let's turn off autopilot and fly to the airport. Fixing my view so I can see out the window. I like to fly from inside the plane when I land. Try to keep it somewhat realistic. Although flying like this is awesome, isn't it? You can see everything. Let's see how fast I'm going. I gotta slow it down a little bit. The cat's meowing. She probably wants food. Alright. Just a minute, cat. Lining it up. Hopefully nothing's taken off towards me. I don't see anything on my map to indicate traffic. Let's land it. Alright, once again I'm sorry I had to stop the video and restart. Things outside of my control. But we're back. Finished out the flight from Rochester. We were over Rochester when I went away. Next flight real soon. I'll post it out there where I said a few minutes ago towards the beginning, and I think our next stop is Toledo. Alright. Let's bring this thing down. Nice long runway. Look at that. Boy, this is slow. Here we are. Not bad. I'll raise up my flaps. I'm rolling it out. A little fast on that turn. Hit my brakes so I don't run into the grass. Alright folks, there you have it. Sanford Seacoast Regional to Niagara Falls, a couple of trips around the falls, and a good flight overall. 360 nautical miles, 361. Not bad time. Hope everyone has a great day. See you next time.